When super user logged in and created any files or directories, by default data stores under root. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in and you are creating any files or directories, by default data stores under home. Okay, and next one is boot. Boot contains bootable files, system bootable files. And also kernel is stored under boot up to RHEL 6 version. Kernel also stored under boot. Next one is sbin. Sbin contains super user commands. The commands which is executed by super user. The commands are stored under sbin. Bin means the commands which can be executed by normal user. The commands are stored under bin. USR, default applications. Applications which we install, applications which comes automatically along with the operating system. That applications are stored under USR. And next one is var. Var contains log files, system log files. Dev means devices information, means partition information is stored under dev. etc means configuration file. System configuration files are stored under etc. opt means optional application. Applications which we install manually. Applications which comes along with the operating system is stored under USR. Applications which we install manually, third-party applications stored under OPT. Media, external devices information, external hard disk, external DVD writers information stored under media up to RHEL 6 version. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. And run contains external devices information from RHEL 7. Also kernel. Up to RHEL 6 only, kernel stored under boot. From RHEL 7, kernel and external devices information is maintained by run. So this is what we discussed in the last session. File system hierarchy. So now, and we also discussed about recommended partitions and their sizes. These are the recommended partitions we have in Linux. In this, what are the compulsory partitions? Means forward slash and swap are the compulsory partitions. Forward slash is compulsory because it is the parent directory. And swap is compulsory to increase the performance of physical memory, and remaining partitions are optional. Okay, so now in today's session, I will show how to install operating system, Linux operating system. Okay. So from today onwards, your practical sessions are going to start. And now I'm not installing the operating system directly in this machine. Now what I'm doing is I have a software VMware virtual machine. So here, see, already I have some existing softwares operating systems are here. So again, I want to create a new operating system here. So for this, first what I'll do is I'll create a virtual machine. Physically, I don't want to purchase a new computer for installing Linux operating system. Just for practical purpose, I don't want to purchase a computer. So now what I will do is I will create a virtual computer. It means physically we cannot touch the computer, but virtually we can use the computer. Okay. So how to create virtual computer means two methods. Either click on create a new virtual machine. Click on here, or click on file, new virtual machine. Your wish. You can use any option to create a virtual machine, virtual computer. Okay. Now, typical. Next, I will install the operating system later. Next, which operating system you want to install? Windows or Linux or any other operating system? I want to install Linux. Next, location. Where you want to create this virtual machine in your computer. Click on browse and select the partition where you have space. See, for example, in this machine, I have the drive CDF. Okay, in my C drive, I have the space for 83 GB. So I'm clicking here. Now, in D drive, I want to create a new folder for my Linux operating system. So I created a folder. You can create a folder with any name. So I created a folder. Okay. Okay. So next. Now, how much space you want to give for your virtual machine? I want to give 40 GB space. Okay. So this 40 GB space, I want to create as a single file. So store virtual disk as a single file. Next. Finish. So new virtual machine is created with 1 GB, 40 GB RAM. Is this clear? How to create virtual machine? So I created a virtual machine. Now here I want to install operating system. Now click on CD or DVD. Now click on use ISO image file. Before this, what to do is copy ISO image file, OS image file into your drive, any of your partition. And here click on browse and select the path where your ISO is there. Okay, my OS is already there. So just click on the path, browse and select open. Okay. ISO file is selected. Now click on power on this virtual machine. Now select install or upgrade an existing system. Select the first option. If you select second option means it installs the operating system with basic video drivers only. Third option is for troubleshooting your operating system. Fourth option is when the OS is with you, when you want to do dual operating system installation, we go with this option. Okay. And fifth one is for checking your memory. So you don't want to do this all. You want to install complete OS. So select the first option, install or upgrade an existing system. Enter. Yeah. Now here, using tab button in your keyboard, click skip. Here, you cannot use your mouse. We can use tab button. Click tab button. Use tab button and select skip. Enter. Hope you are able to understand. If you are not clear any step, you can ask me. Now, click on next. Next, language. Select any language. By default, we'll select English. Next. Select keyboard term. Generally, we use US English. Next. And here, basic storage device and specialized storage device. So when we install the operating system in normal desktop PCs or laptops, we use normal hard disk like PATA hard disk, SATA hard disk. At present, we are getting SSD hard disk. So where you are using this hard disk, we go with basic storage device. When you are installing it in server, if there is a hard disk like SCSI hard disk, RAID hard disk are there we go with specialized storage device option. So here we select basic storage device. Next. S, discard any data. You want to create fresh partition. So select this option. Now host name. Host name means computer name. Computer name can be anything. You can give any name. Your name also you can give. Example, I'm giving Kalyan IT.in. Name can be anything. You can give just your name. Enough. Next. So select time zone. I'm selecting Asia Kolkata. You can select your time zone. If you are unable to select from the map, you can select from here also. Simply. Next. Next, root password. Here, point to be note. Once we install, while installing the operating system, Linux operating system, it automatically creates a user, that is super user. While installing the operating system, Linux automatically creates a super user account. Okay, we don't create super user account manually. Super user means administrator. So here it is asking us to give password for super user. And one more point, super user login name is root. How we have login names for normal users like Jack, John, Tom, Jerry, how we have normal login users names. Similarly, super user also have the login name, that is root. So while installing the operating system, it automatically creates root account, super user account. And we are just assigning the password for that super user account. Password can be anything you wish in your systems. I just give the password with 6 characters. Remember, super user login name is root. Root account is already created. We just generating password for that account. Next, it is showing you have provided a weak password. Okay, because I just gave 6 characters. Okay, so protected password means more than 8 characters with special characters. If you are giving, that is highly protected. But I just gave with 6 characters only. That is the reason it is showing this message. But still, if you click on use anyway, it will continue with the same password. Now here, remember, select the option create custom layout so that you can create partitions as per your requirement. Create custom layout. Remember this option. Now, here it is showing the free space. Total available free space it is displaying here. Click on free. Click on create. So there we have options standard partition, RAID partition, logical volumes. Now I want to create a partition, standard partition. I want to use standard partitions option. In further classes, I will show creation of RAID partitions and logical volumes also. And the difference also I'll explain in the further classes. So create on free, select standard partition, then create. Now, observe here. There is an option mount point. Click on mount point. Select /. File system type is ext4. We have in Windows file systems like FAT16, FAT32 and TFS. Like that in Linux we have ext2, ext3, ext4, XFS file systems. Okay, so file system differences I will give in for the next classes. And now the size. I'm giving 10,000 means 10 GB space I'm giving to my /. Okay. Again, select free, create standard partition, create. Now click on mount, select boot, file system type. I'm giving 200 to 500 MB space you can give. I'm giving 300. Okay. Click on free, create standard partition, create. Again, mount point, /home. Size is your wish. I'm giving 10,000 to my home. It means 10 GB space I'm giving to my home. It means what? Normal users can use 10 GB space. Now again, click on free, create standard partition, create. Now observe there is an option file system type. Now here if you click on file system type, there is an option swap. Click on swap from file system type. Now I'm giving 2 GB space for my swap. So already 1 GB RAM is there, 2 GB space we are adding, means 3 GB now. Still space is there. I don't want to use this space now. I don't want to create any partitions now. I'm just leaving this space so that after entering to the operating system, I can use this space and I can create partitions. So that I will show after entering to the operating system, that I will show. Next. Here, format. Now here, write changes to disk. Next. Now, select desktop if it is not enabled, so that after entering to the operating system, you can see GUI mode. When you log in into your computer, you can see GUI mode. If you don't select this desktop option, nothing will happen, but directly command line interface, it will appear. Okay, I will show that. And I'm selecting desktop option because after entering to the operating system, I want to use GUI mode also. So that same like Windows, when you switch on your computer, it will show GUI mode in Linux also. Okay, and other options I'm not selecting here because I don't want to select now these all options. After entering to the operating system, I will install these all the services manually, and I'll explain what is the use of each service. So that is the reason I'll not install now. Next. Select desktop. Next. So process is started, installation process, it copies all the files. It takes a bit time to copy the files. If you want to install VMware software, you can download and you can install. And if you want the keys, but I will provide the keys. Also, ISO image you can download, or you can ask Mr. Kalyan. He'll provide the softwares. And one more thing, if you are using Windows 10 means install virtual machine 15, workstation 15. If you are using 11 means install 16, VMware 16. I have more virtual machines. That is the reason it is taking time to copy all the files. Generally, it will not take much time. And as tomorrow is Saturday, try to install the OS tomorrow so that from Monday onwards we can start our labs. Regular labs will be there. Okay, so make sure your systems are ready with Linux operating systems. If you have any issues while installing the operating system, you can contact us tomorrow or day after tomorrow also. If you have any issues, you can contact us. Done. Now reboot. Reboot means restart. If you are unable to move your cursor means you can use Control Alt to move the cursor. If cursor is not visible, you can use Control Alt. Forward. Forward means next. License key. Forward. Now here, create a normal user. Username can be anything you wish. You can create a user with your name. I created a user. Full name means comment, description about the user. If you want, you can use. Otherwise, you can leave. Password, I'm just giving with single character. Okay, just one character I give. Now, if you press forward, it's next. It is showing the chosen password is too weak. But still, it creates the user with this password only. If you click on S means. Now, date and time, you can select here. Forward. Okay. Finish. So operating system is installed here. And this is my login page. Okay. So here, while installing the operating system, I selected desktop option. That is the reason the screen is like this. Now tell me, what is this kalyanit.in? Can anyone tell what is this kalyanit.in? Kalyanit.in is my host name, computer name. So it is showing kalyanit.in. This is my computer name. After entering to the operating system also, if you want to change the computer name, you can change the computer name. And what is this Jerry? Jerry is a normal user which we created manually. The username it is showing here. Now if you want to log in as a super user, click on other. This all I will give in next session. I will give notes also at the time. I'm just showing this. Click on username. What is the username? Super username? Root. Super user login name is root. Then what is the password? I get the password as Red Hat. Login. So it is showing that user is logged in. Currently you're running as a super user. Just click on this. Do not show me this again. Otherwise, whenever you log in as a super user, it will show like this. And now if you see, this is GUI mode. Why it is showing GUI mode? Because while installing the operating system, I selected desktop. So that is the reason it is showing like this. If you don't select desktop and if you install the operating system, when you switch on your PC, directly the page, login page will be like this. Kalyan IT login. It will show like this. Okay, so here we give our username. Say for example, root and root's password. Then logged in. So now you can work here as a super user because we logged in using root credentials and you can work here. You can create a files, you can create a folders, you can run, you can execute all the commands from here. Okay, but while installing the operating system, I selected desktop option also. So now I'm able to use GUI mode as well as CLI mode. So how to switch from one interface to another interface? What is the difference between CLI and GUI? How to log in? All the basic commands I'll explain in the next session. I will give the next session is basic commands. That is very important concept. If you are clear in the basic commands, Linux is very easy for you. Okay, so basic commands are important, like how to log in, how to switch from one user to another user, how to check the data. This all I will show on the session. Basic commands. Okay, so now your first task is installing. First install VMware software in your computer. If already available, well and good. Otherwise, install VMware software. In VMware software, install Linux operating system. That is your first task. If there is any issues while installing the operating system, you can come back, you can contact us. Okay, so we'll guide you at the time. So make sure before next section starts, make sure that your systems are ready to work with Linux operating system so that you can practice. When I'm explaining, you can practice. And whatever I explain, I will give the points also, I'll give the commands. Every point is important. So try to maintain the notes also. And this is for the today's session. In today's session, we completed OS installation practical. Okay, so from the next session, I'll explain about the basic commands. Thank you for the session. If there is any issues, you can ask.